Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. Of course, we start off with the Tri-Nation ODI series where New Zealand have made it to the final. Pakistan and South Africa, of course, are now involved in a virtual semi-final tomorrow. Whoever wins at the National Stadium in Karachi is going to have another chance to try their combinations and test some, new things regarding their upcoming tournament, which is the Champions Trophy. So we talk about that in detail as well. PTV Sports HD is going to telecast the event live, and it's going to be a great moment for us to see the newly upgraded National Bank Cricket Arena in Karachi as well, because Lahore has been very, very high scoring. If Karachi is the same, and if we're getting 300 and 350 in Karachi and Lahore, God knows what's going to happen in Rawalpindi. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Then we move on to the Champions Trophy, where Pakistan is going to face New Zealand in the opening match as well. Tonight, the National Bank Cricket Arena in Karachi will be inaugurated. Earlier, a couple of days back, we saw the inauguration of the new Qazafi Stadium in Lahore, and this time we move on to Karachi and its inauguration. Then, of course, we move on. We talk about football, where FIFA have extended the mandate of the Normalization Committee of the Pakistan Football Federation until July 31st of this year. And of course, we also know that on the 15th, the chairman of the Normalization Committee would be replaced. Haroon would be, of course, relinquishing his post, and Mr. Saud would be coming as the new chairman of the Normalization Committee. Two members have also been named, which also include Mr. Shahid Khokar, who remains as the member of the Normalization Committee. Then, of course, we move on to the National Elite Boxing Championship. Men and women championships are being held in Karachi. Of course, the championship continues till 15th of this month. 10 categories for men, 8 categories for women boxers, and 14 teams competing in the championship. But what's great to see is 112 female boxers are in action in this national championship, which I think is a terrific moment for boxing in Pakistan. So a lot of congratulations to the Pakistan Boxing Federation, especially all the office bearers and all the participating teams as well. We start off with cricket. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios joining us is Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm very well, thank you.
We've also been joined by Mr. Kashif Majid. Assalamu alaikum, Kashif. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. Thank you. Perfectly all right.
Well, there you go. There's Kashif. And also joining us is Mr. Sabir Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Sabir. How are you?
Thank you so much, and showing me twice again. Thank you.
Well, you always are often cut with breakings and news alerts, so we thought that maybe show you twice and make you happy, man. But that being said, Asif Ahmed, we have to talk about the Tri-Nation and Pakistan's upcoming campaign. But before that, I would like our viewers to listen to what you have to say about Kane Williamson and why he becomes such a great example for all the youngsters out there.
Well, Ahmed, to be honest, that yesterday when we were watching his innings, that was absolutely brilliant, and he stood player of the match as well. This is not the first time that he has scored the stunning effort and stunning innings for the Kiwis, for the Black Caps, and he remains skipper, plenty of experience playing international cricket for a long time, and he was the skipper when New Zealand played final of the World Cup 2019, and that was a nail-biter contest. He got some strong nerves. Whenever he go for the century, go for the big score, and he used to go for the not-out innings. I think that was absolutely stunning effort from Kane Williamson, that he was understanding right before the Champions Trophy, if you're gaining form, as Rohit Sharma scored a century against England. So these kind of innings definitely boost your energy, boost your confidence. But the only thing was, if you see his strike rate for the first 50 runs and then his strike rate after 50, he was just playing with a straight bat. They were chasing more than 300. The asking rate.
Guess how he finished the match? He came down the track and played a straight drive for a 4. That's a clinical way to finish a match.
It's a lesson for the youngster that you can make score with the straight bat. It's 50 overs games, and when you're settled there, you're going for big innings, then don't try to go for hairy-fairy shots or unorthodox shots, because just try to understand the importance of your wicket. Just try to understand that how much time you're spending there, and then you are gaining and you're learning that what kind of what's the behavior of the pitch and how the bowlers are behaving there. He was just waiting for loose deliveries and playing with the straight bat over the extra cover, long off, long on, classy innings, marvelous innings. And that's the speciality of Kane Williamson. After scoring this century, when you will enter and when you will play against Pakistan on 19th of the February, I think that his wicket will be really crucial for Pakistan. So though Pakistan has a good record in an ICC's events against New Zealand, but even then, after Pakistan, New Zealand is my second favorite, and without any doubt, Kane Williamson, you beauty.
Absolutely. I'm sure that, we're all intrigued by the way he's played. But what's been so interesting about Kane Williamson, Kashif Majid, is that we've seen him play out of his skin. When he scored 100, only 75 deliveries, he was playing at a strike rate of 133. Then once he finished the match, and that's a plus point that he finished the game as well, he didn't give up in between. He was on a strike rate of 117.
This is Kane Williamson for you. You have to get his wicket. He is just not there to sell his wicket for any cost. And as a bowling unit, you have to plan so much to get him out. And unfortunately for South Africa, they haven't got that quality of the bowlers. Yesterday, when we talk about to get rid of Kane Williamson, and in the last, I guess 12 innings, he has scored 8 50 plus or 9 50 plus runs, and 1 century is there. So he is in a purple patch, and when Kane Williamson is in the purple patch, I think there is nothing more quality side than Kane Williamson scoring runs, playing so late, playing so freely at times, and at times when he was playing, the bowlers look teenagers bowling to him, and this is where the class of Kane Williamson is. Second important thing, throughout the innings, throughout his career, the way he handled pressure for New Zealand, just going through the 2019 World Cup, there was only Kane Williamson along with Ross Taylor who's scoring continuously runs for New Zealand and then taking them to the final. 23 was unfortunate. He the thumb issues and the injuries case, but whenever he played and scored runs, and this is where he has got so much to offer to the New Zealand. And then in a very fine morning, he asked himself that he don't want to continue as a captain, and he simply resigned from the captaincy and still scoring so many runs without any fuss. So most probably an iconic player, an idol for so many cricketers, for young aspiring cricketers, just to follow the path of Kane Williamson to become a legend of the game.
Well, certainly, and I think it's all about role models right now. You can define yourself, and I think from this platform, we've said it the most, that if you're a technically sound player, you will be successful in all formats, and that's why Kane Williamson is so successful. It reminds me of the days of Hashim Amla as well, who across formats was brilliant, and that's the reason how you can be successful. Unfortunately, youngsters these days have developed role models, those ramp shots and no-look shots and the third man swap for 6, that they're missing the importance of textbook cricket, or even not textbook cricket, having a very solid base, and I think that's what's missing. But I think Sabir Kane Williamson is one example of a player who has groomed himself across formats, all the 3 formats that we talk about.
Absolutely. Ahmad, the Kane Williamson, he has been a phenomenal player for New Zealand. I mean, lots of youngsters, must, look at, his batting skills as well. 54 average in test matches, 49.65 average in ODIs, 7,000 runs in 167 matches. He is a simply, spectacular player. He basically performed in every condition, not in subcontinent, also in New Zealand, England, South Africa as well. So he is the basically player who basically accumulates the runs, and then he basically builds his innings as well. And he is basically all kinds of shots. Even yesterday, the lofted cover, over cover, so many boundaries to the spinners. Heads off to him. And the main thing for basically New Zealand point of view, basically he was the man who basically finished the job. Finishing the job is very important for every player. For Pakistani point of view, look, there were so many great examples like of Inzamam Molak, Mohammad Yusuf as well. If you go beyond them, then Zahir Abbas, Majid Khan as well. So Pakistani basically not only youngsters but Babar Azam, Muhammad Rizwan, Salman Ali Agha as well, Kamran Ghulam especially. These kind of batsmen currently they are playing. They basically need to basically watch the videos of old Pakistani players, legends. Recently Ken Williamson is there. So many great players will be coming to Pakistan, like Steven Smith as well, Joe Root as well. So Pakistani batsmen basically needs to understand need to understand how to basically build their inning. 50 overs, to play 50 overs is a hell of opportunity for each and every individual. It's not a job of opener basically. It's a job of one down batsman, number 4 batsman as well. If your wickets are falling really quickly in a power play, then it's a huge responsibility for number 4, number 5 batsman to basically go till 45th over. Then you have basically 4 to 5 overs. Then you can basically hit some boundaries as well. Same situation for the bowlers as well. you have to basically bowl complete 10 overs. It's not a job of 4 overs, you know, two good overs, then you basically you have some kind of fatigue issue, especially after 35th over, then you basically lose your liner length. Shaheen Shah Afridi, lots of criticism on Pakistani bowling lineup, especially because of the last ODI. But to be very honest, I am quite hopeful. The kind of performances they have been showing, the Haris Rauf, you know, Naseem Shah, Shaheen Shah Afridi. Shaheen Shah Afridi was the highest wicket taker in Zimbabwe. He picked up 7 wickets. He picked up 8 wickets in Australia. So 15 wickets on against Australia and South Africa. Naseem Shah, he also you know, contributed something, and Haris Rauf basically he picked up 10 wickets against Australia. So basically this is the time for these senior players, especially Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf, Naseem Shah. These 5 players basically they need to step up. This is a wonderful opportunity for Pakistan because they are kind of a senior players, and this is the time to deliver in your home soil. This kind of, you know, ICC Champions Trophy is being held. So this is the time to basically contribute something and win it for your nation.
You know, Kasif, let me ask you a very blunt question over here. For the past couple of years, the entire nation has criticized Babar Azam, and rightly so as well. Some of that criticism has been justified. Some that has been very personal is unjustified, obviously. But criticism for the sake of constructive criticism is always welcomed. Why are we so afraid in this modern world to talk about, and by we, I don't necessarily mean we, I mean the, you know, larger audience and including some of the major sports journalists in this country. Why are they afraid to talk about Shaheen Shah Afridi, a guy who's played 61 internationals now, you know, somebody who's up there with Naseem Shah, who's played about 20, 21 one-day internationals. Why are we so afraid to identify that Shaheen Shah Afridi, the old Shaheen Shah Afridi, the basis of just that 1 or 2 spell? We cannot let that happen again. We can't. This would be another example in this country where a player would be given miraculous opportunities on the basis of just 1 or 2 spells. You know, it breaks my heart when last night I heard the interview of Usman Kader in Australia, you know, where he mentioned that, you know, had he been given enough chances, and he named a couple of players that they were given, he said, I would have been a different bowler. I would have contributed more for Pakistan. But it's a, you know, it's just a taboo now that we don't talk. We have to accept the fact that our bowlers that, you know, we've been going on Shaheen Shah Afridi, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Naseem Shah, Naseem Shah, Naseem Shah, they're not right now good enough for one-day cricket. Let's be honest.
Well, Ahmed, you asked me this to give you an answer bluntly, and let's talk about, I don't want to talk about the quacks who were sitting over the TV and giving the analysis over the Babar Azam's batting. Let's talk about some former test cricketers like Basit Ali. Let's talk about some former test cricketers like Tanveer Ahmed Sahab, and some other names, even Sikandar Bakht. You know, sitting over the TV and just asking about the Babar Azam strike rate and just giving examples that if you cannot hit 6, you're not a batter. These kind of statements coming from the former test cricketers. I think I was shocked. So if you are putting you are just criticizing and criticism for the sake of criticism just because you don't like Babar Azam, I think it's not the solution. Whenever we criticized on Babar Azam, we just talked about his performances, that he's not performing well. He should take some rest. He should go to home, take some time. And I think that sometimes when you're not performing well, it's really important to take rest, go to your family, and maybe go out for the vacations. This is what psychologists used to tell to the players, that take rest, calm down, and when you'll come back, you'll be star again. Of course, you have performed so well for Pakistan. And so that was the problem with the Babar Azam. Whenever he was listening to the some other TV channels, that the former test cricketers, they're just criticizing, they're just bashing Babar Azam. So might be he was under pressure, and that's why he got into the, you know, in that mindset where you cannot go for the, you know, accountability for yourself. I have asked this question to Babar Azam, that what you do for your accountability. He said that I used to watch my match 2 to 3 times after losing, and I try to sort out that where I was wrong.
Well, you tried to ask this question to Shan Masood as well. You know, on the same note, you asked him, what about your own performance?
Yes, when I have asked this question, then Shirazi Sab is sitting in an MCR, and right before the show, he said, please, Shan is my favorite player. So, okay, thank you very much. Apart from joke, now coming towards Shaheen Shah Afridi. Shaheen Shah Afridi is definitely a taboo. That's a very good statement from you, that nobody's talking about his performances. Couple of good overs with the new ball, then there is no clue what he's doing in the depth overs. He doesn't know that how to bowl good yorkers. He doesn't know that how to bowl good bounces. No variations. Yes, we do remember a couple of his good spells, which you have referred actually against India, against Australia, or some other teams, and then no performances. When Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah, they're not performing well for Pakistan. So their performances are really, really important for Pakistan if we want to win, because we have 3-4 match winners: Shaheen Shah Afridi, Babar Azam, Rizwan, and then of course Naseem Shah. The other guy, Haris Rauf, is suffering with the injury, and we are taking some new names, like selection committee have shortlisted Akif Javed, then Muhammad Ali and Wasim Jr. Once again, there's a question mark for a couple of matches, of course, because the news coming that Haris Rauf would be perfect right before the Champions Trophy, and he will be in the squad. But the problem is that why we are not criticizing and why we are not talking about Shaheen Shah and Naseem Shah's dismal performances. So many times we haven't watched that they're bowling good yorkers. The problem is that when you are coming up with the length deliveries, it's so easy for the batters to pick up, especially like Glenn Phillips. He is an astonishing batter, especially when we talk about the death over battings. So that was the problem. Shaheen Shah Afridi doesn't know that how to bowl good yorkers with the old ball, no reverse swing at all. I think that he's just concentrating on the league crickets and the 4 overs. That's why he's losing his performances, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. Kashif, this is, of course, something very serious for Pakistan. You know, at the same time, we've been talking about Pakistan struggling in the last 10 overs of their bowling, leaking more than 10 runs per over. That's been a nightmare for us as well. But, you know, collectively, and it's very simple, where there's swing and seam on offer, they take wickets. If there's not, it's not there, we never have a plan B.
Okay, let's find out what international teams are doing with the last 5, 6, 7 overs. Most probably from one end, they'll be having one guy who's considered as the mystery spinner. We started doing this with Saklan Mushtaq. We have done this with Saeed Ajmal in the limited overs cricket. So there is one guy who always be who cannot batter cannot pick through his hand, and that can be a mystery spinner in these days.
Sabir, what is your analysis when you think of Shaheen Shah Afridi?
Look, I mean, I'm quite optimistic, all the time, because these are the Pakistani stars. I mean, they have been serving Pakistan for so many years. I mean, yes, we have lots of expectations, and there are some basically, times when you have to deliver. And yes, I mean, there are, a couple of weaknesses. I mean, but as a player, as a senior player, as a professional, basically, you have to be sincere with yourself. If you are finding, some kind of problems in your line or length, better to go in domestic circuit. Try to, play 4-day cricket. Try to bowl 12 to 15 overs in a day or 20 overs in a day. Then you will be basically improve your weaknesses, enhance your skills as well.
Well, I'm not with the Pakistan team at the moment, nor do I have news. Look, but I don't believe, and I would not accept anyone's bowling 20 overs in the nets these days. I think that would be the biggest irony, because, like you mentioned, all the past fast bowlers that we've known, Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus, Shoaib Akhtar, have probably bowled their heart out in the net sessions.
Look, I mean, in Pakistan, basically, social media kind of boost up to them, and they basically become a superstar too early, I would say. So this is the reason basically they basically think themselves that they are the superstar after playing a couple of matches. Then they basically don't play domestic circuit. They basically prioritize domestic circuit to the international T20 leagues. This is what it has been happening. I mean, so again, I don't want to think about PCB, that PCB should block their NOCs as well. It is their basically individual's responsibility, to be very honest. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, there is lots of criticism, but look, I mean, what Rohit Sharma did. So these are the basically kind of players. They both of them basically went to the domestic circuit. They play 1 or 2 matches, but they basically went there. This is what Shaheen Shah Afridi needs to do, to be very honest. I have a huge respect for him, but I'm quite optimistic again, because he has been giving a couple of matches, again resting some matches as well. So kind of a workload management by this particular selection committee. But again, Naseem Shah, what about Naseem Shah? I mean, his basically pace has gone down, and he is basically he used to pick up so many wickets. I still remember against Netherlands, in Asia Cup as well, in T20 World Cup as well. So he basically used to bowl really well. There has been a problem as far as his fitness is concerned. Haris Rauf, I have no doubt about as far as Haris Rauf is concerned, because he has been picking up the wickets, especially in the middle overs as well. The problem again with Pakistan management is we are not finding out any fourth, fifth bowler other than these three. This is what it has been happening for last 3 to 4 years.
Mohammad Hasnain is on the bench. Mohammad Ali did very well in the one day championship, or the Champions One Day Cup. Mohammad Ali was brilliant. The only bowler I thought can bowl 10 overs, him and Hasnain. So they're there's still options.
But can I add?
Yes, of course, we're coming to you. Yes.
As a batsman, we talk about the array of strokes anyone has got. Starting from point and covering that entire circle and finishing at fine leg. So all shots available to a batsman can be termed as a class batsman. When we talk about the bowlers, it's always about the modes of dismissal he has got in his armory. When we talk about the great Ws, Waqar started with those reverse swinging Yorkers. The most he got was LBW and the bowled in the start of the career, but later on he developed how to bowl those out swingers to the with the new ball. So he learned that art of bowling new ball as well. So does Wasim Akram. The way when he started, there was always LBW and bowled outs, but then we have seen so many of slip catches gone on the bowling of Wasim Akram. This is where every bowler has learned the art of getting different modes of dismissal in his armory. For instance, for Shaheen Shah Afridi, he started his career with those in-swinging balls to the right-handed batsman, getting them bowled and LBWs. But unfortunately, injury occurs to him, and then what happened was his pace was down to 10 kilometers per hour per delivery. So what happened was all those coming inside, in swinging Yorkers or the new balls jagging back to the right-handers are not that much of effective now. So he has to develop more of his deliveries, most probably the away going deliveries. How many times we have seen a right-handed batsman got out in slips on the bowling of Shaheen Shah Afridi? I guess we couldn't find anyone. The second important thing, bowling in the depth, he only has got one variation available to him, that is the off cutter, a left arm spinner's delivery, and that is it. When we talk about this modern era, either you have to be up there with Mitchell Stark's pace that you can just go and bowl those Yorkers.
But as a batter, Kashif, if I'm facing Shaheen Shah Afridi, I've not seen enough gas in his tank that I would be tempted to go back as well. I've not even seen a lethal bouncer which I would be afraid of on the body, that this guy can probably come at me as well.
Going through the history of Shaheen Shah Afridi, the best, okay, you just go to the clips or the reels which Shaheen Shah Afridi has made. Leg befores or boards with the new ball, not even with the old ball. So this is where we can say that when we talk about the one day cricket, he has to bowl at least in the 4 different phases of the innings. To start with the new ball and finish with the old ball. In between, there are 2 spells for him in the middle of the innings, and we haven't got any reel available to us where Shaheen Shah Afridi picked wickets in these 3 phases, the second, third, or the last one. It's only about the first phase of the innings where the ball was in dipper to the right hand, and that is it. So yes, it sounds good, because for Shaheen Afridi's in his I can say in his advocacy, I can say he came to the scene when we were playing 2 to 3 T20 World Cup simultaneously. The Asia Cup in UAE, the World Cup in UAE, the World Cup in Australia. This is where he peaked, and now we are talking about one day cricket, and he is nowhere to be found.
Well, certainly. And Sabir, I think there has been some sort of reluctancy in playing Mohammad Hasnain as well. I don't know why they do it. I mean, it's not about preferences anymore. If somebody is better than your superstar, just play him. And Mohammad Hasnain can be that fine bowler.
Yes, I mean, this is what selectors need to think. The captain basically needs to, have some kind of trust on the other bowlers as well. Look, I mean, Mohammad Hasnain, you basically, talked about Muhammad Ali as well. There were basically a couple of bowlers. They should have been given, consistent chances. Like, I mean, you also mentioned, Usman Qadir as well. So there are so many players. I mean, they basically should have given proper chances, proper series as well, but they did not get. So this is the reason, again, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf, in all 3 formats, except test matches for Haris Rauf, for so many years. I mean, like this is what I mean. This is what I mean. We have been facing problems. We have seen in ODI in a World Cup in India. We have seen in T20 World Cup as well. But this is the time. After this Champions Trophy, there has to be a scrutiny. There has to be accountability as far as the senior players are concerned. If Babar Azam is not delivering, so try to give him a rest of a couple of 6 to 7 months. Why resting only one Test match or a couple of T20s
Sabir,
against Zimbabwe?
one of the reasons why I like you is you're a man of reality. So Sabir very clearly Asif said that after this Champions Trophy. So I think he realized the case that in this Champions Trophy we can't expect anything now.
No.
Whatever is going to happen is going to happen after
And
that.
I would love to listen, a couple of comments as far as Fakhar Zaman is concerned from K. Asif.
But K. Asif appreciated him. But K. Asif at the same time also said that he needs to learn to finish games as well. So I will stand on his side.
All right, well done, Fakhar Zaman. Let me clap for you. Well done, you're doing fantastic job for
It
Pakistan.
has taken us a whole year to get that out of K. Asif.
Ahmed, there are two types of us. Just once you said, welcome Sabir Hussain, cricket expert on PTV Sports. And second time when K. Asif said Fakhar Zaman, I said,
Yeah, you're going to cry probably. But there's also a third kind of ah which we don't want you to say. So I'm not going to come to that. I'm not going to come to that. But K. Asif Ahmed, it's taken a long time. I think it's taken Fakhar Zaman to go back to domestic cricket for us to appreciate him. That's why it's clearly worked. But the question still remains. It's just remarkable the way things have been unfolding.
Well, my question is to Kashif Bhai and of course you and Sabir, that you want to see a Fakhar Zaman as as a good player or an extraordinary player. There's a difference between an extraordinary and a good player. He played a good innings. Yes, he was playing so brilliantly. But the problem was that when he got out, the Pakistan collapsed. When he got out, on the finishing note, Pakistan lost the game. So 88, well done. You performed well. But I want you to become a good finisher. And the people who always talk about that the openers, they couldn't be good finishers, or they couldn't go for a finish because they start from the ball 1 and they cannot play 50 overs. The problem is that you have to learn this art. Yes, Saeed Anwar had done so many times that brilliant job for Pakistan. Some other names, Brian Lara, and some other names, that Adam Gilchrist, so
Your
many
favorite,
times.
Michael Bevan.
Yeah, Michael Bevan. So he wasn't an opener batter. So problem
But he was so good he never even asked to be an opener. This also happens in Pakistan. If I'm really good, make me the opener. This also happens very often in Pakistan.
Fakhar Zaman is a good talent, but I want him to be an excellent talent. That's the difference between a good and
the dismissals of Kamran Ghulam, because we have been supporting a lot.
Absolutely.
The way he has been, giving his wicket. I mean,
Well, you're late. We already discussed that yesterday. So I think we're done with that case. But that being said, let me take this moment to put out a very factual statement that majority of great left-handed openers, majority great openers have been left-handers. So let me be very honest about that.
And you're also a
yes, absolutely. That's why I said it. History has given us Saeed Anwar, it's given us Adam Gilchrist, we've seen Marcus Trescothick, we've seen Graham Smith. I was in love with Graham Smith. Stephen
Lester
Fleming,
Cook.
Sir Alistair Cook, Andrew Strauss was there as well. At one point, we talk about Brian Lara as well. Obviously, Sanat Jayasuriya. There's so many that we can name as well. Kumar Sangakkara, of course, but he was usually batting in the middle order. But so many left-handers that we can. Sourav Ganguly, I can never forget Sourav Ganguly, the way he approached modern-day cricket at that time as well. So many great left-handers as well. And then it comes to the case of Usman Khan, probably who might get a chance in the next match as well. That is. But final note, Qasim Majid, this tri-series is going to be over in the next couple of days. Champions Trophy up ahead today was the last day of making any changes to the squad. That hasn't happened. So that means that this is the lot you're going with now.
I'm perfectly all right with this lot because from the very first match we have played against the New Zealand, we have decided our playing 11. A change, Saud Shakil in for Kamran Ghulam, and that is it. Because I wanted there is some place to be part of this squad, but since they are not there. So I guess let's find out a perfect balance among those 15, 16 selected. And the first match have shown us that I guess Saud Shakil in for Kamran Ghulam, and that is it. The rest is perfectly all right, and let's hope all those guys can deliver, because they've done something very good in the near past. They've been in the Pakistan scene for quite some time now, and it's their time to deliver. And some of them already played 2 to 3 finals of ICC events. Most probably they know how to tackle the pressure in those situations.
But Kashif, I said this as well today earlier on, that I like the fact that Pakistan is being criticized, because when they're put against the wall, the best comes out of them. So it's okay if you're losing this tri-series.
I agreed with this, because going into the very first match with Rizwan, we've beaten 2 very good sides in their own backyard, Australia and South Africa. With South Africa, we won there 3-0. So it's just the curious case of finding the best fit in our own backyard, and we couldn't deliver in the very first match. I guess when they scored 300 orders, I was still hopeful that we can come up with a fight. And the way Fakhar started, he just wanted a partner at the non-striker end who can support him, and most probably Kamran Ghulam took too long for his 18 odd runs, and this is where we lost the plot. We were there in the match. It's not the case we were not there. Yes, we can talk about so many nitty-gritties in the bowling and the fielding department or in the batting department, but as a whole, I still believe that we have got a very good mix of good players, quality players, as well as some not so good players too.
I know where this is going. But Asif Ahmed, let's just, on a concluding note, very quickly. 4 teams when you talk about Pakistan's group: Pakistan, New Zealand, India, and Bangladesh. Your qualification also needs a reality check. It's not going to be as easy as we've thought. We're going to beat New Zealand, we're going to beat India, we're going to beat Bangladesh and qualify. It's not as easy as that, is it?
Well, the only thing is that the Pakistan have a very stellar record against New Zealand in ICC wins. Pakistan have beaten New Zealand in 2019. Pakistan have beaten New Zealand in 2023. Pakistan have beaten in T20 World Cups to New Zealand. So I think that the only thing, the positive is. And the rest, I'm quite sure that the Rizwan will definitely change his strategy, because when you're chasing more than 330, you require partnerships. Pakistanis are not good making partnership. That's the big problem. Whenever Pakistan chase down either it's T20, either it's ODI, do remember Babar or Rizwan, one of them, they have performed well. So this is the key for Pakistan.
Yes, Sabir Hussain, the key for Pakistan obviously still remains with the fact that your batting's got to score 350 runs.
Look, I mean, obviously, this is the tough tournament. I mean, this is what, Bamuma was saying, South African captain, that 8 teams, all the teams have, they have a competitive tournament. I mean, each and every individual team basically has a chance. But for Pakistan, it is not easy job, because to beat, India in Dubai and then beat New Zealand as well, because New Zealanders are used to basically, Pakistani bowling lineup as well. Even the conditions in Pakistani conditions. By the way, in Karachi, New Zealand last time beat Pakistan, making 298, I think, and then the highest score in Karachi by the Indians, 374 against Hong Kong in the Asia Cup. So in Pakistani pitches, Asif rightly said, you basically need some couple of partnerships, 80 runs partnership, maybe 100 run partnership between the 2 batters, then you basically are in the game, while you're chasing 330, 340 as well. So these kind of, Pakistan, Karachi, Lahore and Rawalpindi as well. So you have to basically take your time, like Kane Williamson did. I mean, even the South African, debutant, I mean, made 148 something. So basically, you have to stick on the plan, and then give yourself a couple of balls. Then you can basically you have all kind of shots. Then you can cover up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Sabir Hussain. Thank you very much, Asif, and thank you very much, Qasim Majid, for joining us. That, of course, wraps up Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.